I had some pre-mentoring from Connie before how to slow down just a little bit. So I hope everyone takes what I can get from this. So we'll get over the little boring stuff about me and my prior experience first, just so everyone can understand kind of what I've done in the past. And then we'll get into the real juicy stuff, which I think will help game change everything on one here. Okay? So who am I? I'm Jamie. That's why I'm here. I'm an Australian small business finalist for digital marketing. So I've done something right to get to that. In my history, I've spent millions of dollars on ads. It's probably an understatement. I have spent way too much. And I've been doing this for over 6 years now. A lot of people in the room I've worked with before, and they'll understand how much I love this stuff. In terms of my growth, I'm a testament to what you can do with the right amount of mentoring and the right amount of marketing. So as an idea, it took me basically 3 months to make up my old agency's well-paying salary, a further 3 months to double that, and coming in up close to 9 months now, I've nearly tripled my average salary a month, based on the marketing techniques and the stuff that I have done. You'll see tonight. I'm going to show you all the little things that I've been doing to do this to my own business. It's really not that hard. It's very simple stuff, but it's effective. It doesn't take bucket loads of cash. What it takes is a lot of effort and just smarts. Here's an example of some of the people I've worked with over the years, whether or not it's been at my old agency where I grew up and I learned all my stuff, to me doing some of my own things. Some of the better ones was Hillsong. I launched a song over in the US and actually ranked higher than my favorite artist, Taylor Swift, for a small portion of the time. Twitch, anyone here a gamer? Anyone play games? Is it just me? Okay. Twitch is a massive streaming platform. Think of it like YouTube, but for gamers. 140 million different registered users. I ran their Australian and New Zealand campaigns for a big portion of time by myself. Someone contracted me for that. And most recently, one of my probably favorite memories, I have now got Gant as my own personal client for advertising for Australia for their marketing. They reached out to me personally and I do all of their stuff now. Enough of bragging. We're going to get into the real stuff. So most people probably told you put your phones away. We're going to get to a point soon where I want everyone to have their phones ready to go because I'm going to be giving some examples. So have your phones ready to go. But before we get into it, I had a realization. Okay? A lot of businesses still don't work for it. Businesses believe that marketing doesn't work. The amount of people I've talked to over my time, I've realized so many people believe that marketing does not work still. And it comes down to a bunch of these reasons on the screen. Who here has done marketing before and gloriously failed? Anyone? Yeah. Or who here believes like maybe your business is too niche? No, not so much. All right, there's one over back. All right, good enough. Or who believes the audience isn't there? There's all common things I hear all the time when I ask people, why aren't you doing marketing for? Why aren't you trying to boost your business? It blows my mind every day. But really, the real problem is you just don't know how to do it properly. Or you don't have the right things in place to structure it correctly to have a successful marketing campaign. You don't need years of experience like I do. You just need to put the things in the right space, okay? So with Bob the Builder, I'm going to help you fix that today and help you generate more business for yourself, whether you do e-commerce or you do like a business. But there's one major problem that everyone in here will have. I can tell you right now, it's your website, okay? I'm not a website designer and I don't want to be, but there's key elements that you can place on your website to help people understand and contact you and make it easier for someone to contact you, okay? What I believe is if you start on a bad foot, you can't expect to have great results. It's the honest truth. But if you put core things into place, whenever you send someone straight to your website, you'll have the best shot of them getting in touch with you. It doesn't matter if you do a service, you have a membership, or you sell a product. If you could put these core things into place, there's exactly the things that I do for my business, the exact things I do for my clients, and this helps me get success. I'm a marketer going against other marketers all trying to vie for the same spot. I have people experts in the industry and I still beat them in what I do because I have these core things in place. So everyone, phones out. Who here, most of you will have businesses, so what I want everyone to do is go to their website, okay? If you don't have a business, what I want you to do is go to the last place you bought a product from, whether it's like an online store or someone you contacted. Maybe you contacted a plumber recently. I want you to go there. I want you to open it up. Oh, my one if you want, yeah. I'm doing this for a reason, okay? So one of the biggest reasons I find people struggle to stand out in front of people is they have this symptom called a copycat syndrome. It's where you look like everyone else. And as everyone knows, what I want everyone to do now is obviously you've got your website up. Everyone has their own little niche little business. I want everyone now to go to Google separately and type in their business niche. So if you're a plumber, if you're a property manager, if you're a real estate agent, type that in first. And then type in the location we're at now, which is Castle Hill. Once that happens, you'll be presented with a search. Most likely what you're going to see is 4 sponsored ads pop up. Those are Google ads. Everything else underneath that are organic listings. Now, when someone comes to try to contact you and are looking for a service or a product, what they're doing is this exact process. They're typing in your service niche and most likely your location in most cases. They're going to open up most websites they find on that first page and quickly do a little squeeze through them. Find out what means and makes the most sense to them, what they connect with, what builds the most trust with them. And then they start the process of elimination. They start getting rid of some. They get rid of some. They get rid of some. The ones that they like, they'll dig in deeper, find if it really makes sense of what they want or the service they want and need, or they can trust or believe that they can get the job done properly. Until they're left with usually 2 or 3. Why? Because we all like to get free quotes. So we can compare people. So when people are looking for a service or a product, that's what you're going against. You're going against 10 other people in your area, most likely. And at the same time, if you don't get picked out of that top 3, you lost the opportunity. You spend all this money on advertising or you spend all this money on organic stuff, and this is what happens. What can you do as a business to stand out? How can you change your website? How can you change your messaging? How can you go on their websites and find out what they're doing and how can you do it better? It's really not that hard. This is exactly what I do for myself. I do it for all my clients. You go onto every competitor's website, find out what they're doing, and you make it better. Because if you stand out, just like my shirt, you'll go and stand out in the crowd, okay? So that's the first one, copycat syndrome. Don't be like everyone else. The second one is the lack of trust factors. Who here has testimonials on their website? Keep your hand up if you have video testimonials. There's a reason why I asked that. I still believe these days, yes, text testimonials are great, but they're easily faked. I can easily go on anyone's website and write a fake testimonial and you'll never know if it's real or not. That doesn't build much trust. What builds trust if you can go out and make the effort and get a real video testimonial done. Because how hard is that to fake? It's really hard trying to go all the way out of the effort to get someone to record a video about you. Yeah, you can get your 2 mates, but that still takes effort. And then to slap it on your website as well and hope your mates actually say something nice about you, that's even harder. What I recommend is go on your website, go onto your competitors' websites and see what they're doing. Have they got text testimonials or have they got none? Imagine if you have video testimonials, talking about your work, showing your work. It takes you a step further. Who here predominantly deals with a business-to-business, B2B clients? All right, a couple in this room. This next one's the big one for you, case studies. The thing is, when you start dealing business-to-business or anything that relates with commercial in the arse of it, the cost of advertising gets significantly harder. Because the money to be made when you do business-to-business or business-to-commercial businesses is ridiculously more. So you find the competitiveness when it comes to doing this kind of stuff is ridiculous. So this is why it's so powerful to have a powerful case study that you can prove your offerings to people. But bonus points if you can do a thing like a video to back it up as well. What I like to tell people all the time is people absorb information differently all the time. Some people like to read. Some people like to listen. Others like to watch a video. I like watching videos. I don't like reading. Reading's lame. So something there. Now, free content on your websites. Who here has free content? When I say free content, do you give away a free ebook? Do you have a free video series? Do you give away a free calculator if you're an accountant or something like that? Who has that? All right, so a portion of you are already doing the right thing. Why? Free content helps you build trust that you know knowledge in your industry. Doesn't matter if you're giving away some industry secrets, because they're coming to you in a reason for the first place because they don't know how to do this kind of stuff. The free content helps solidify who you are and how smart you are in your business. How much free content you can do is ridiculous. If you ever dug into my website, there's over 100 videos in there. There's multiple free things you can download. There's courses, there's everything. Why? Because I want people to know that I know my shit and that I am better than even the agencies and all that out there. It's about the impression it gives to people before they even contact you. And the final one is real photos. Who here has a real photo on their website of their business, of their, That's good. So about 50% of the room, if not more. There's still a good chunk of people who still use stock photos on their website. How do you create authenticity for your brand if you're using fake images that you found on a random website? People can't relate back to that. Half the time it's people when it looks like they're in American suits in American housing. It doesn't make any sense. You need real photos. And if you don't want to get in front of the camera, someone else in your employees could. Take some real photos of your office. It doesn't matter. What you need to create is a personality for your brand, because these real photos show who you are as a business. Okay? So that's the trust factors. The final one is the lack of CTAs, and that's what we call them in marketing. Basically, the call to actions or the points of how someone can contact you. Okay? That's an example of one on my website, just so people can understand what they are. You'll probably see these everywhere. The idea of a call to action is when someone lands on wherever you're trying to send them with any kind of marketing, you want it to be as crystal clear and as easy as it is to contact you. If you go onto your personal website and you scroll up and down and you find it's really hard to find your phone number or find a way to your contact page or find a way to submit a form, you're already doing this wrong. Anywhere you're sending people for marketing should have an easy way of contacting it. What I do a lot is I use color to help guide people across my website. My website's predominantly black. I use orange to let people know where I want them to look and where I want them to click. The other option is if you have multiple colors in your brand or something like that, the idea is to make the actual call to action, so your phone numbers or the buttons that you click, off-brand, something that stands out like an eyesore. Because when they're scrolling up and down your website, the eyes are going to keep getting dragged back and forth to these buttons. Because these buttons is what's going to lead them to the journey to contact you. If they're not ready to contact you yet, make those buttons lead somewhere else that's going to help them contact you. Okay? Simple. We can't start advertising yet, unfortunately, even with those things in play. All right? I want to address an elephant in the room here, a bouncing elephant for those who don't know. Do we need an offer? Because I'm sure you've seen a lot of people come up in your newsfeed. There's a lot of big guys out there, which I follow a lot, Alex Hormozy, Russell Brunson, ClickFunnels guy, that all talk about you need an offer or you're not going to be successful. They're wrong. I can tell you why. It depends on your industry. Most people in here probably are service-based. You do not need an offer as a service-based business. Everything we do as a business, being service-based, is particularly custom to who we're trying to provide, the service we're trying to offering. So how are we going to make a one-all-fits-all offer for this kind of stuff? It's merely impossible. I'll tell you, in the years I've been doing marketing, the amount of campaigns I ran for service-based businesses, the different landing pages and all that kind of stuff, there's a small percentage of time I've ever used an offer to try to get people over the line. Because if you use anything in the previous section I talked about and have the right things in place, you don't need an offer, you just need to be really well branded, okay? You can use offers if you have one of these three things. E-commerce, so you sell a product online, you have a Shopify store. A SaaS product, so if you could Netflix or something like that where you can purchase it online. Or you offer a membership service. You see this all the time, buy one, get one free, 10% off, 7 days for free, that kind of stuff. That's the kind of offer you can do. You test them. But majority of us here don't need it. Don't feel like you're obliged to do something like that when really all you need is just good features on your website, okay? But one thing we do really need is what we call a good guarantee, okay? So I'll give you two examples of good guarantees. One for me. Most marketing agencies you go to or you reach out to will ask you 6-month contract, 12-month contract to lock you in, to get certainty to get that cash flow coming. Me, I don't lock anyone in. I feel like it's like a relationship. If it doesn't work, bugger off. Or you go to Woolworths or Coles, you buy a product, you're not happy with it, you can take it back. 100%, no actions. You buy a pair of shoes, buy a shirt, you can take it back. That's a guarantee. It means you put the favour in the person who's going to be working with you or to buy your service, okay? The biggest thing I want to put out is if you can't do a good guarantee with your business or believe you can't, it's because you probably don't believe in the business enough or you don't trust what you do in the first place. You have to be confident to put a guarantee. And the better the guarantee is, like X, if I don't meet X KPIs or we don't do X, Y, and Z, you get X back or you get refund back, the better. Because the more you can put back into the person's hands, that they feel like they can trust you more, the easier it is to convert people over the line, knowing that. That's why sometimes when you see these big offers online, the guarantees is what gets you going, okay? A good guarantee is powerful. Now finally we can do some advertising, okay? So the point of this was, we went through all those prerequisites before, because if you put every one of those little things into play, whenever you start doing any form of advertising, you'll find you have the best shot of actually winning. It doesn't matter what we do here. Everyone can grow their businesses if they put those right elements into place. You don't need to freak and rebrand your whole website. You just need to have those right elements. So everyone probably understands there's two different buckets here. There's so many other ways of advertising, but the two most common buckets are free or paid advertising. Can anyone give me an example of free advertising that you could do for your business? Yep. Yep, there's one. Any other ways you could do free advertising for your business? Who said what? Word of mouth. Yeah, word of mouth. And the other one, a lot of people in the room, networking. Okay, that's well, not free, but it's free when you get the time and you meet all these extra people. The other one's paid. The stuff that a lot of people know me for is the stuff you run online. This is advertising, anything with ads on the back of it. So there's these two buckets, and you can do either one of them now, okay? But I'm going to talk about a little bit something different, because I can literally talk about marketing for days on days. But what I am going to talk about is the things I've done that I found move the needle the most, okay? These little things that I've done in the next couple of slides are exactly the things that I have done as a business to grow, because I found they move the needle the most, okay? And it's the same thing that got me a 20x ROAS, return on ad spend. For those who don't know what that means, every $1 I put onto ads, I make at least $20 back. I think it's closer now to about 35, 40 bucks. So every $1 I spend, I make about 40 bucks back, okay? When you think about it as a business, when you can calculate numbers like this, in the end, it's not about how much money how much ROAS you get. It's about how much money can you spend to get more and more and more. It's just data in the end of the day. When you get to doing what I do and you spend so much money every year for clients to get them to their goals and stuff like that, it's not money anymore. What it is, it's just pure data to get them X. I need to spend X to get Y back. It's just what you can get in return, okay? So let's start with this, the free stuff. There's two main free features that I believe can help grow any business, all right? The first one is focusing on short form. And everyone in here, put your hand up if you believe short form content like TikTok is probably not worth it for your brand. One. So everyone here reckons that you can do TikTok for your brand and be fine? Good, because you're right. The reason why everyone want to do short form content. So short form content these days is related back to these vertical videos that you see across TikTok, the reels and stuff like that. But the reason why we want to do this kind of stuff is because it gives us free views without paying a cent. When you do these vertical videos, what happens is when you post them on TikTok, when you post them on Facebook or Instagram Reels, it doesn't matter if you already have a following, because what it's doing is it's going to send it out to random users and let the algorithm work out if it works the best. If people start engaging with it, start commenting, watch longer, share it, it's going to push it out further. There's so many businesses here, especially e-commerce, that have blown up off TikTok because the algorithm picked it up and people engage with it, and all of a sudden, overnight they're sold out and they can't keep up with demand. It's free impressions. I can tell you right now, as a business that does marketing, I've secured many sales off TikTok alone. I've got a following now. I've got people contacting me across Australia, and I'm starting to build like a brand behind it. It does a lot of things, okay? And the best thing about it is TikTok posts are the same format as Facebook stories, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. You can throw them across all 4 platforms, get 4 different results, and there might be a business opportunity there for you as well. Don't be scared. Yes, it takes time. I get it. We all lack time. But what's better, losing time or making more money? Because I'll go for making more money. And the reason why short form content's gotten so big these days is the fact that our attention spans are less than the goldfish, which is absolutely shocking if you believe it. And this is why the best example of this is when you jump onto YouTube and you start watching a video and you get 5 seconds before you skip. YouTube knows that for a reason. They've tested that for a reason. And the reason is, 1, it gives 5 seconds for the advertiser, us placing ads on there, to try to grab your attention. But it also gives 5 seconds to the person that's watching the video, enough to skip. Any longer than that, they found that people start getting pissed off and stop wanting to watch YouTube. There's a whole big complaint about it. That's why you find that 5 seconds on YouTube. This is a big example. So this is one of the studies that came from Google. Okay? So now we've got short form into play. The next one is the part we can take new technology and create it with the old technology. And it's how you can use short form content and ChatGPT to write your SEO blogs for you. For anyone who does SEO in this room, I am not throwing you down on the floor because it'll be great to do it. It's a great long-term, mid to long-term play, but it does require a big investment in most cases for everyone here, okay? Some people just can't afford it straight up because the problem is you've got to wait. And a lot of us don't have money to lay around to wait until we've got more money coming in. So this is what I do for short-form content, okay? This same strategy I use, and I'll explain in a second, is exactly what gets me hundreds upon hundreds of extra clicks a month, purely based on this example, okay? So this is what we do. The short form video that you created for your profile pages, what you then will do is use you transcribe it. So transcribing is when it takes all the words that you've spoken and puts it on paper. Okay, that's all it is. It's just transcribing. So the two websites there, Rev, Happy Scribe, you can use it. You kind of have to pay for them. But what you get is a transcription of your video. Instead of you sitting there all day typing stuff. Then we chuck it into ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT itself is seriously an insane amount of time. You can sit there all day trying to hack the way through. But in the basic of forms, you basically go to ChatGPT, tell it to act as an experienced SEO person who's a good copywriter, and basically prompt it to use the transcription underneath that we just created to write an SEO blog, well-structured SEO blog with headlines and paragraphs. And then all we do is we just give it a kind of length that we want it for. So you give it like 850 words or something like that. Now, anyone who's sat here before and wrote a blog will understand how exhausting it could be when you get writer's block and you sit there for hours just to write a big 800-page article, okay? It's stressing, I hate doing it. But you get ChatGPT to do it in literally 30 seconds. And then what you then do is you just post it on your website, then you post the video at the same time, so when someone goes to that blog, they get to absorb the video that you've done, and for further reading, they get to use the ChatGPT SEO thing as well. It's as simple as that. I think Google's just going to start naturally ranking it. I've got so many posts now that naturally rank based on this thing, and gets me free impressions that click on my website every day. And I don't care because it saves me time, it saves me money. Now to the fun stuff. The final step on this process. It's the pay stuff. Who here has a very expensive industry? When I say expensive, well, Joe knows already what I'm about to say. If you're a real estate agent, if you're a lawyer, if you do an electrician, if you are a plumber, when I say this is, the reason why I say it's expensive, because when you go on Google, people like Joe down the back there can pay anywhere from $25 to $100, $200 for one click on Google. Imagine trying to make money off that. The reason why it's so expensive is a whole version of supply and demand. If you make more money in the end result, what you're going to get in return is more money back. So that's why people are bidding harder to show up on Google for the same reason. Marketing, anywhere from $5 to $25 a click. Me, I had to pay $30 for 2 clicks the other day and it hurt me. But it's just what it is. So I found a back way around it, where we can show for all these expensive search terms for literally pennies. And I do this exactly for my business, and it gets me leads at a fraction of the cost that I pay on search. Okay, so search is those ones where you type into Google and the ads just pop up on Google search. Okay, they're called custom intent audiences. Long story short, if they're searching on Google search, you can then later that night show an ad on YouTube or what they'd say the Display or Discover network. Okay, so there's these 2 other networks that Google offers. YouTube, as everyone knows, the ads that show up, the 5-second skips. And then Discover is basically the Facebook version of, it's basically Google's version of Facebook newsfeed, okay? And then we've all seen Display before, because Display is the ones where you go to different websites and there's images all over the place. Those are Display ads. So what happens is if someone was typing in, for example, insurance broker near me or something like that, and obviously we didn't want to show on search because it cost me too much when someone clicks it, what's going to happen that night is they're going to get on YouTube and your ad pops up. You want to know how much you pay for a video view? About 15 cents, 10 cents. Imagine you get a couple hundred of those going at one time. So instead of what you pay $20 for a click for 20 bucks you get a couple hundred views. There's a couple hundred views of opportunities for your business to grow and get leads from. I do that now. I think it's about a quarter of what I pay for a lead on YouTube. And yes, it comes down to creating a really good video. But if you know it's going to cost you pennies to make some more money back, would you go out and make the effort to create a really good video for your brand? You would. Same thing with obviously Discover and Display. They're much the same. You can actually just use images for this stuff. But my problem is I find it's harder to get the message out because it's just like an image. It doesn't convey enough. When you do a well-spoken YouTube ad, you can literally change everything because people will sit there Pass that 5 seconds and continue to watch, continue to watch, and continue to watch. And then all of a sudden you've converted them. They start knowing you and your business better than just visiting your website because they just saw your YouTube video. You can sell, I always say this thing is like, a picture's worth, 1,000 words? Well, a video is 1 million more because people can get to know you better. That's why short form has gone so far these days. And the final one, retargeting, aka remarketing, okay? In the simplest form, I'll tell you what it is. You go on to Rebel Sport, start looking at Adidas shoes or Adidas shirts. All of a sudden, when your kids come in, they distract you. Bugger, forget about it. Later that night, you're sitting back on the couch, jump on the Facebook newsfeed. All of a sudden, Rebel Sport pops up on your newsfeed showing you Adidas or Under Armour or shoes. That's remarketing in simplest form. It's basically when someone comes to your website, engages with certain parts of content, you start following them around. Some of you might have realized that after you engage with one of our ads or visited Eventbrite, you might have seen our ad keep popping up on your newsfeed. Much the same approach. The best thing about retargeting, it's cheap. It costs pennies. And the best part is, it's only shown to people who have engaged with your content. So it's the hottest people. It brings people back. I've had customers in the past where they disappeared for 90 days. And then I've showed them an ad 90 days later after they haven't engaged with me. And then they've converted. Some industries here will have a longer process they're doing. There's a addition here does buyer's agent. Sometimes when you buy a house, it's a long process because you're looking and you're looking. Imagine if you continually kept popping up on your newsfeed all the time using what they call retargeting. It's insane. Obviously, it just has different sizes that you need. But in the shortest form, this is the most powerful thing that any business can do. It's what I do. It's what I get nearly every one of my clients doing as well, if they have the availability to do it. And that's it. Thank you.